Welcome to Psychic Insights, where pop culture meets higher consciousness and the tea is always a little bit mystical. I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend, and around here we don't just watch the drama unfold, we read the energy behind it, whether it's celebrity scandals, reality TV, chaos, or true crime with a twist. I'm tuning in to bring you the intuitive scoop the headlines miss. So buckle up, because your aura's about to get entertained. Welcome back to my channel. It's Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend. Thank you for coming back. I hope I'm your favorite psychic on the YouTube, but if not, like and subscribe. You might think so after a while. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of you have been asking me about this upcoming hearing. And, you know, features our girl, Laura Owens, who has nothing to do with her time. Anyway, and it's against, she filed a harassment claim against a YouTuber. And we talked about this in an earlier episode about how words are important. And anyways, the hearing is coming up on February 20th at 9 a.m. in Arizona, and it features Laura as the plaintiff and Hey Rob as the YouTube content creator as the defendant. And you know, this isn't a legal analysis. This is a spiritual inquiry because I wanted to find out the energy around this. So I want you to kind of like take a look at or see it from a different perspective, right? We're going to look at symbolism and tone and momentum, not necessarily a verdict, although I do have an opinion on how it's going to lean and go. But think of it more like spiritual or emotional weather, not a court ruling, you know. So, and the question that I asked really wasn't like, who wins? Because that wouldn't be fun. Well, maybe it would be a little bit. But honestly, you know, the cards don't really love yes or no courtroom questions because there's so much that's involved in this energy, right? So the question I did ask was, where does the energy lean? All right. So I wanted to know, is this explosive energy? Is this calm energy? Is it structural? Is it emotional? And that's really where the psychic insights usually live, right? All right. So, you know, I had to use my Lenormand. Love these cards. Anyway. And, you know, for those of you that may be studying Lenormand or Tarot or like sharpening your psychic insights, you know, bravo to you. I'll tell you how I read. I read the Akashic Records. I read the energy. I get intuitive vibes. I use the cards as sort of storytelling for me to sort of put together what I'm sensing, feeling, thinking, all of that good stuff. Because really, when it's about somebody else, it's not really, it's not about me. It's not about my clients. If you're a client, then we connect one-on-one. We connect very deeply. You give me permission to read your energy, that kind of thing. So just kind of remember that this is for entertainment purposes. This is for, you know, just to help you kind of brush up on what you might be learning. And, you know, it's my opinions. End of the day, right? Okay. Just so we're clear, Laura. Just so we're clear. I try to be very sensitive to the fact that, you know, she is a human being, you know, like us. And, you know, but, you know, sometimes the behaviors are, you know, my point. All right. So here's the cards, right? So I picked, oh, Lordy. All right. Those are my other cards. All right. So what I picked was Tower, Rider. Those of you following along, you know, that's information and news. This is Anchor. All right, this is Tree. This is Bouquet. We have Heart. We have Garden. We have the Letter. Aren't these cool cards? I love these. And the Ring. Okay. All right, so the first thing I really noticed is there's like no destruction cards here. There's no chaos. There's no everything blows up energy. And the spread actually really feels procedural, structured, and paperwork heavy. No surprise in legal, right? So the Tower and the Rider and the Letter together, when we look at those together, they feel very literal, like documents and filings and statements and moving through official channels. It doesn't feel like emotional theatrics. It feels like, okay, what's written, what's said, what's documented. So energetically, that tends to favor whoever is calm and factual, not whoever is the loudest. And from what I understand, the attorney on Laura's side is David S. Gingras. I don't know. I never could get his name right. I'm just going to call him Laura's attorney. All right. And if you know anything about him, he's another head scratcher. But then it becomes no surprise that he is somehow attached to her. Okay. So we have that, right? So we have calm and factual, not who's the loudest. Now, we'll see how Rob holds up with this, right? So his attorney, I'm not really sure who it is, but we've got an attorney versus attorney. So we've got the anchor in the tree as well, and this pair really stood out to me as well because it's rooted energy. Think of trees as being rooted, and anchors, okay? Steady energy, not easily moved. That's interesting, right? It doesn't feel like someone's getting knocked over. It doesn't feel like it just feels more like someone's holding their position, which could be both of them, right? So if I'm looking at where does the momentum tilt, this pair leans slightly towards stability rather than upheaval. So not a knockout, more like standing your ground. So then we talk about the Bouquet and the Heart. When they show up, it's very interesting because it's actually kind of soft energy. That's likability, that's tone, that's how does someone come across? Are they respectful? Are they measured? So this says presentation matters. Not drama, not aggression, just composure. So this should be interesting, right? And then we have the Garden and the Ring, and this part speaks the loudest to me. Garden is a public space, social environment, community, and audience. The Ring is an agreement, binding terms, and conditions. And together it doesn't scream someone loses. It says lines get drawn. There are boundaries. There are defined expectations, and there's structure. So in the big picture, when I zoom all the way out with this energy, it doesn't feel like a dramatic courtroom scene like in the movies or The Lincoln Lawyer. Did you see that? Love that show. Anyways, I digress. It feels more like paperwork, boundaries, documentation, and stability. And I had to lean, if I had to lean one way or the other in the energy, it tilts slightly towards the side that's already holding their ground, not the side that's trying to create a big overturn. But honestly, the louder message isn't victory, it's structure. So I think it leans a little bit more favorably towards the defendant than it does towards the plaintiff in this case. But I'm curious about what you guys feel when you hear this. Does it sound like resolution energy, boundary setting energy, stability? Because energy is perception, and it's not a decree, it's more of a conversation. And so tell me what you're picking up. And I love hearing your comments because you always think, you guys notice things sometimes I don't. And I love that, don't you? It means that we're working together with our spiritual inquiry and we're just trying to decipher what the energy has to say, more than a judgment about the two people involved. So I will see you in the next one. And I'm Robin Richardson, your psychic girlfriend.